Astronomy, the study of everything outside of our world, space, stars, and the cryptic perpetual universe. When I was told about this assignment to write a TED Talk, or I'm sorry, rather a Talon talk, I had no idea what I was going to give a 5 to 18-minute talk on. So as suggested by Ms. Hill, I searched for TED Talk ideas and wrote down a few topics that caught my eye, not realizing that I would have to pick one later. So I chose astronomy, or rather the study of. It may not seem that exciting at first, and that's how I initially felt, but after some thought I realized how fascinating astronomy really is. Now when it comes to talking about astronomy, I was faced with a decision. Should I talk about what astronomy is and what astronomy has accomplished, or should I talk about what it has done and the findings of astronomy? So let's talk about a few of the prodigious aspects of astronomy. First off, let's talk about size. I have a question for y'all. Do you know how big infinity is? There's nothing on Earth big enough to offer a comparison to how vast the universe is. You are nothing, a speck. The best analogy I have to offer to compare the Earth and the universe is that you live on a ping pong ball floating in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's not to say that the ocean isn't infinite. The Sun, our own star in the solar system, is about 432,687 miles in radius. Earth is only around 3,959 miles. This means that the Sun is over 100 times bigger than Earth. And you may think this is big. You haven't seen anything yet. VY Canis Majoris is a red hypergiant, the largest known star found. Its radius is 988.3 million miles, meaning that compared to Earth, it is only a tiny bit bigger, only 249,633 times bigger. If you were on a plane traveling 900 kilometers per hour, it would take 1,100 years to circle it once. To quote a line from the Disney Pixar movie WALL-E, there's plenty of space out in space. Those words ring incomprehensibly true. People think that the World Trade Center or the Burj Khalifa are big, but no one stops and thinks about how minuscule they are compared to everything outside this planet. Just think, there's so much more out there. Now, astronomy doesn't just exist to make you feel insignificant, it offers some alluring sights. Being able to look up into the sky and be mystified is the reason for why astronomy really even exists. Nowhere else can you see the birth of a galaxy or the death of a star. Nowhere else can you gaze into infinity and physically look into the past, other than space. Did you know that if you look up into the sun and blinded by its light, you are actually being blinded by light that is 8 minutes old? That's right. The sun is so far away that it takes 8 minutes for the light it produces to travel to Earth. This goes for all stars. At the night, if you look up and see a star, it is so far away that it may not even be there anymore. The light takes so long to reach you that you are literally looking through time into the past. Now, how do we see and capture these awing sights in space? Well, with telescopes, of course. Before high-definition telescopes and cameras, pictures of space looked about like this. That could be the moon or somebody mooning you. You can't tell. The Hubble Telescope orbits the Earth and has collected over 45 terabytes of stunning images. With Hubble and telescopes like it, we are able to capture images that look like this. This is a picture of the Pillars of Creation taken by Hubble in 1995, possibly the most famous and profound image ever captured. You're looking at the birth of a star. These pillars are 4 light years tall and 7,000 light years away from Earth. Sadly, they're gone. Like I said before, with astronomy, you are able to look into time, into the past. Even though this photo was taken in 1995, the pillars had already been destroyed more than 1,000 years prior. Here are a few more of my favorite images taken by the Hubble. People have always been fascinated by the objects in the sky outside of our world, and that's why there's been so much developed around this science. And these objects being planets, asteroids, galaxies, and other unique formations. Planets, you know, the thing you live on. Planets are either giant rocks or giant spheres of gas floating in space. Planets, we have 8 in our own solar system, but that doesn't mean that there are only 8. Planets form along with stars, and surprisingly, planets outside of our universe may be able to sustain life. while other planets have been downgraded to mere dwarf status, like poor Pluto. And my favorite known object in the universe happens to be probably the scariest thing ever discovered: black holes. Black holes are regions of space where the gravitational field is so strong that nothing can escape, not even light. I only wish I had Stephen Hawking here to enlighten you on the black holes, these undefeatable voids of nothing that consume everything, kind of like Kanye West's ego. So the next time you look up in the sky at night and see a star or planet, or see a program on astronomy, stop and think about how much more is out there than you. It's truly beautiful.